It's time to start your day with the First Cup Morning Show.
Serving up a warm cup of good news, positivity, and uplifting messages.
And now, here's your host,
Our dad,
Joshua Kangley.
Hello, friends. Good morning to you, and welcome back on in to the First Cup Monday Morning Show. I'm your host, Joshua Kangley, and this is the place where we start off the week with some good news. Thank you so much for joining this morning as we start off the week. And we do have some good news today to share, and we will get to that in just a bit. But first, let's start it off with a quote. Theodore Roosevelt once said, "Believe you can, and you're halfway there." And here, Roosevelt's words may seem simple, but there's a deep truth sitting inside them. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Before any success, before any victory, before any breakthrough, there's a moment when you have to decide in your own mind that it's possible. Most of us don't fail because we aren't capable. We fail because we talk ourselves out of trying. We underestimate our strength, our resilience, our ability to figure things out along the way. But belief, real belief, is like flipping a switch. It turns doubt into momentum. It turns fear into direction. It turns the impossible into a starting point. Just think about how many things in your life you once thought you couldn't do, and yet here you are, grown, seasoned, stronger than you were a year ago or even yesterday. That's the power of belief, quiet, persistent, life-shaping belief. So as we move into this week, I encourage you to carry this thought with you. Your first victory happens in your mind. When you choose to believe you can, you've already taken the hardest step. So let today be the day you start walking towards something with confidence. Not because the road is easy, but because you know you're capable. And that belief, that's your halfway point. The rest is just taking the next step. And now let's go to the Did You Know? Did you know on this day, December 1st in 1959, 12 nations came together to do something the world had never seen before? They signed the Antarctic Treaty, an agreement that turned an entire continent into a place of peace, science, and international cooperation. At the height of the Cold War, when tension between nations was at its peak, countries put their differences aside and agreed that Antarctica would be used only for peaceful purposes. No military bases, no weapons testing, no claiming territory, just research, discovery, and the protection of one of the last untouched places on Earth. It was the first arms control agreement of the Cold War era and remains one of the most successful international treaties in history. Today, thanks to that decision made on December 1st, 1959, Antarctica is still a continent dedicated to science, wildlife, and global collaboration. A powerful reminder that even in divided times, humanity can choose unity and protect something bigger than itself. Today, December 1st, is National Pie Day, landing right in the middle of a major pie making season. The day combines our bumper fruit crop with a booming holiday season full of baked goods, cold weather, and rosy-cheeked children. It's definitely time to tie on those apron strings and get baking. Of course, we make more than fruit pies. Savory pot pies provide comfort on a cold winter's day and the satisfaction a family cook needs when caring for a family. So happy National Pie Day. And now it's that time. Time for some animal fun facts.
Today's animal is the ostrich. Did you know ostriches are the fastest birds on land? They can sprint up to 43 miles per hour and maintain long-distance speeds around 30 miles per hour.
Did you know an ostrich's eye is bigger than their brain?
And now let's get to the good news of the week. And this week's good news headline comes from sunnyskies.com. New source credit goes to sunnyskies.com. Ohio couple adopts all 4 siblings so they can stay together. An Ohio family is stepping into the holiday season with hearts and a minivan a whole lot fuller after officially adopting 4 siblings. As first reported by WPCO Cincinnati, Joni and Nelson Janey of Miamisburg finalized the adoption of 15-year-old Chevy, 12-year-old Caleb, and 10-year-old twins Vita and Zoe on Wednesday morning at the Hamilton County Probate Court. And while the timing is special, what makes this story truly extraordinary is that all 4 siblings got to stay together. In the world of adoption, keeping brothers and sisters united is incredibly rare. Judge Ralph Winkler, who oversaw the adoption, said that out of 2,500 adoptions he's handled in the last decade, fewer than 10 involved a group of siblings who were able to remain a family. But these 4 were determined to stay side by side, and the Janeys were determined to make that happen. The moment the kids met Joni and Nelson, something clicked. The Janeys say it felt like their family suddenly made sense. They went on vacations together. The kids began thriving in school. And before long, it felt as if they always had been part of the Janey crew. It's almost like they've never not been a part of our family, Nelson said. This isn't the couple's first experience with adoption. They welcomed their youngest son, 5-year-old Nicholas, a few years ago. Joni, a stay-at-home mom, and Nelson, an Ohio State trooper for more than a decade, say expanding their family in this way has been nothing short of a blessing. But making everything official right before Thanksgiving added an emotional punch. We can go into the holidays with everybody having the same last name, Joni said, beaming. The family plans to celebrate throughout the season, especially the twins Vita and Zoe's birthdays just around the corner. Their home is now filled with more laughter, more love, and a beautiful reminder that families are sometimes formed in the most incredible ways. Or as Nelson put it perfectly, it's just been a blessing. It's stories like this that remind us that family isn't defined only by blood. It's defined by the people who choose to love you, stand beside you, and make room for you in their lives. What the Janey family did wasn't just an act of kindness. It was an act of courage. You see, they stepped into something bigger than themselves, trusting that love has a way of multiplying, not dividing. And most of us won't adopt 4 children at once. But every single one of us has the ability to be a bridge, to be a source of stability, to see someone who feels alone and say, you belong. And what struck me most was how the Janeys described it. It's almost like they've never not been a part of our family. And that's what love does. It fills in the gaps so seamlessly that you barely remember life before it arrived. So as we head into this week, maybe the question for us all is, where can we make room? Whether it's reaching out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while, checking on a friend who's having a tough season, or simply choosing patience over frustration, those small acts are the threads that hold a community, a workplace, a friendship, or even a family together. The Janeys remind us that sometimes the most extraordinary things happen when ordinary people say yes to love. So as you sip your first cup this week, I hope you carry this thought with you. Love grows when we give it space, and lives are changed when we choose to open our doors. Here's to a week of connection, compassion, and making room for blessing. I really hope you enjoyed that good news. And for more good news, positivity, and uplifting messages, you can always go to guidinglights.org. That's www.guidinglights.org. And as always, before we go, I'd like to leave you with a dad joke. Why did the cookie go to the hospital? Because it felt crummy. Well, friends, that's going to wrap up this week's show. And again, I challenge you to be the reason someone smiles. And you yourself have a great week. And please remember this. Don't let the mainstream media fool you, because there is good news happening all the time.